Right, I've got an area in the garden here which used to be home to the little cactus patch I had, but due to plants growing, which is what they do, namely the big Canariensis and to an extent the tetrapanics. This used to be a really sunny spot right here, and like I said last year I ended up cutting a lot of the big tetrapanics leaves off just to accommodate the cactus at the bottom, but I don't want to have to do that, so I've removed the cactus patch now. That's gone, so I've got this empty area. So this is a quite a shady area. We go in here, we've got cast iron plant, small fatsia spider web, and we've got the camouflage fats header there. So I've got plenty of room for some pots and whatnot for sort of shady loving plants, but this area here gets a couple of hours, maybe a full sun and a sort of dappled shade after that, and to full shade. So what am I going to put in it? Well, this is a bit of a plant haul video. I've been out, I've done all my DIY jobs indoors so I can start playing in the garden again. So this is an area, may only be about a metre square. Not quite square, but you know what I mean. Radius. So what have we got? We brought a couple of, well, weren't expecting to buy these, but when I see them I thought I'd get them. And we've got a couple of hostas. This is the first one. Quite a blue leaf. It's called Blue Mammoth. So if you want to read information on that, you can pause it and read that. It's supposed to get quite big, as the name suggests. Obviously quite a small young plant at the moment, but the leaves will get massive on this. One of the sort of giant hostas. And we've got the second hosta we got, which doesn't look anything special at the moment, but again, if you look at the name, T-Rex. So this one's saying it gets a metre high and 2 metres spread. So again, if you want to pause that and read the information, you can. Looks like quite a substantial hosta. So there's a couple of hostas for you for the dappled shady area, and a couple of smaller plants here. So we've got a Begonia grandis. These get quite big leaves on these. It says height 50 centimetres, but I've got another one in another part of the garden that's bigger than that. And the nice thing about these is they do flower. It's quite small flowers, but the leaves get huge, and you've got the nice red underside to them. So again, that is a bit of a bargain price, $2.99. Feel free to pause and read if you need to. So yeah, we've got some sort of big leaf plants, and at the front, again, like I say, it's all going to be sort of a potted area, so sort of temporary holding area until the plants get a bit bigger maybe. But in the sunnier points, we've got geranium. Well, in fact, we've got two. So these are nice sort of variegated ones. They're sort of deep red flowers, and really bought them for the leaves. You see the younger ones sort of tend to be a bit more yellow, but as they get a bit mature they sort of go into that creamy variegation, so there's a bit of interest in that. That's the flowers. That didn't really give you much information there. 30 centimeters high. Protect from frost. So yeah, you want a bit more of a sunny spot, so they'll be at the front with the bigger leaves behind them. That'll be sort of quite a nice contrast, I think, with some big leaves and the smaller variegated. But let's move to the main event. So this is the plant I've been after for a while. Not a bad sized plant really. I would say in the pot it's probably a good 18 inches high. Seems to be at least 3 or 4 growing points in there. The rest are small, but this is the main sort of trunk here. And there's the tag for you. Schefflera Taiwaniana. I don't know if that's going to pick up that right, it's quite small. Again, feel free to pause and read. Just that bottom paragraph is English. Alright, so I said in the previous video I've been after this one for a while. Out of the way a second. I have seen them. This is a bit of a lucky find, to be honest. There was a, or there is a nursery fairly close to me which has got a load in at the minute. They've got quite a few, and they're about half this size. And I think they were $39.99, so basically 40 quid, which on a Facebook didn't sound too bad a deal, because they are quite hard to get hold of. Obviously quite high demand plants and very sort of low stock. But yeah, it's the sort of first time I've really seen them about. So I didn't get the one that's 40 quid, because luckily I went to another nursery first and asked. This is Taverum Garden Centre near Norwich. Had a good look about, couldn't see any. I know sometimes they do get them in very sort of limited numbers. Couldn't see any about, so I asked one of the workers there, who was very helpful, and said I think they might have one out the back which they've had left over from last year somehow, if you can believe it, and that weren't out for sale as such. It was stuck in one of the greenhouses at the back, just the one plant. So luckily it had last year's prices on it. So any guesses on how much? Bearing in mind that the other one, or the other nursery that was selling them, was half the size for 40 quid. Have a look at that. $12.99. So I'm guessing if they'd have been bothered to pull it out and reprice it for this year, you could at least double that. But yeah, so what a find. I'm well chuffed. Mate, it's $12.99 for such a nice looking plant. So that was the bargain of the day. So that is gonna, it's big enough to go in the ground and be left out over winter, but I don't think it's ever seen a winter outdoors, so I'm not going to risk that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pot it up into a bigger pot. Again, I'm going to arrange some pots in this area here, so to shady, loving plants at the back to sort of brighter, tolerant plants at the front. And yeah, just get a nice sort of layered step down effect of biggest at the back and work my way to the front. Hopefully that'll just bring back a little bit of life into this corner, because a lot of the plants are sort of matured and getting quite big. So we have got a big eucalyptus gunny eye there. Then we've got a big Trachycarpus fortunei, got the red star, and the Phoenix canariensis. So there's a lot of, and obviously the bamboos this side, and the T-Rex. There's a lot of sort of fairly mature plants now. And yeah, it just left me this gap. So yeah, that's going to be a potted area for now. So if you've watched any of my videos over the last couple of weeks, I did have this area as the potted palms acclimatised into the sun. Well, I've had enough of that. They're out in the sun now, so they have to take their chances. If they burn, they burn. But yeah, so I'm going to tidy this little area up. So we've got a little bit of, couple of little straggling bits of bindweed and some other bits of weed there. So we'll tidy it up and we'll get some nice pots, put everything up into slightly bigger pots and arrange that. And I may do a video in the next day or two on how that looks. So yeah, but really quite excited about that. Like I say, it's been on the list for years and just not been able to get hold of them, or not for a reasonable sized plant. I've been able to see them on eBay, like little tiny plug plants for stupid money, like 15 quid for a couple of leaves, and I just didn't fancy growing it out. They're not the fastest growing plants in the world, but yeah, we'll see. So I've got no experience of growing them myself. So thanks for bearing with me. That is my little plant haul. Or I say that that's not all the plants I bought. I bought some indoor plants, but I'll do that in a separate video. These are outdoor plants. So I've got some nice house plants as well. Actually, some pretty good bargains. Some sort of, I wouldn't say rarer ones. I mean, you can get hold of them, but they're normally expensive. But I've got some small cuttings, and I'm quite excited about them as well. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. That'll be like a house plant haul video, which I'll be doing the next day or two as well. Right, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.